ONN. This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle. I'm joined by Scotty Vegas. We have producer Cam Taylor at the controls. My friends, we're going to talk a lot about British Open betting.
Oh, baby.
And Ohio State football on tonight's show. Does that sound good to you, Scotty?
That sounds wonderful, Dave. And guess what? The British Open, some people call it the Open Championship.
The Open Championship.
Starts at 1:30 in the morning. And you and I talk about this all the time. We love sports that are going on right when we wake up in the morning. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, you will be able to watch major championship golf. And I got to tell you, Dave, I've been spending the entire day today. I drove back from Put-in-Bay. I had my wife, Carrie, drive back so that I could really study everything that I could study about the British Open. So I've got like what the weather is going to be like, what this course is like, what some of the long shots should be, and some of the favorites.
Wait a minute. When you were like poolside, in Put-in-Bay, with the swim up bar, you weren't doing like prep then?
I was not. I waited till the drive home.
Okay.
But I am all
Solid.
locked into this. I am ready. This is the last major of the year. I won some money early in the year on Scotty and the Masters. Didn't do so well. Kind of fell apart a little bit as far as the other two majors. And so I'm ready. Last one of the year. Kind of sad it's the last golf major. But
football's right around the corner.
But we're going to make some money.
This is perfect. It's not sad because now we get the final major and then we just slide right into football season.
Speaking of which, I don't know, this actually has nothing to do with that, but did you know, Dave, that today is National Hot Dog Day? Now, we've had some hot dog incidents on our show, but I thought that was funny that it popped up as National Hot Dog Day.
This is why when you come up with ideas and I know it's a bad idea, I should just say I'm not doing it.
And it immediately made me think of you.
Thank you.
Of course, we are 10 days removed from you almost leaving us on the show.
Almost dying live on the air.
Live on the air.
It probably wouldn't have been bad for ratings. And see this guy dive. What's going on here? What are we doing?
Know your enemy?
Know your enemy. Exactly.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
So happy National Hot Dog Day.
Well, thank you very much.
You got a half dog down.
Well, so I'm like
time.
doing my podcast the next morning for Bucknuts. So this happened on our Sunday show, and the next morning I had multiple people in the live chat on my podcast saying, Dave, glad you're still alive after the hot dog catastrophe.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know. This is why Scotty has a lot of good ideas.
That
he
ain't
also
one of them.
sometimes has bad ideas. No, that was all on me. But so Big Ten Media Days kick off on Tuesday. All of Ohio State's stuff is on Tuesday. It's a 3-day event in Indy, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I love Big Ten Media Days. Love it. And I know we're going to talk about this. I know you have a question for me, but Coach Day is going to be there, of course, and you get the 3 player reps: Emeka Egbuka, Denzel Burke, and Jack Sawyer. It's so cool. So every team brings their head coach, obviously, and 3 player reps. There's nothing like it. It's so freaking cool. We can get into storylines, but I know there's a question you wanted to ask me.
Yeah, I'm just curious, as somebody who has never gone, okay, but as a media member, what is that week like for you? I mean, because obviously for the site, you got a lot of work that you got to get done because there's a lot of news that comes out of media days. But I'm just curious, kind of like, what's the schedule for you? Do you sit and listen to every single coach? Do you try and do one-on-ones with people that aren't even associated with Ohio State? What's kind of the work week for you? You say you love it. What's your favorite part about it?
Because it's the only time, and now we've got 18 teams, including the 4 West Coast schools, which just puts it on steroids. But even going back before that, when every year it was in Chicago when I first got on the beat, for I think the first 10 years, and they started rotating here and there. So even when they just had 12 teams, it was really cool. You'd get one-on-one. I could pull, he was then at Wisconsin. I remember pulling Brett Bielema aside for a pretty long one-on-one. Pulled Kirk Ferentz aside for talking about their program, but also like getting their thoughts on Ohio State, what's going on with Ohio State. I remember Kirk Ferentz, I asked him about the rivalry with Ohio State. He's like, well, I've beat them once ever. I can't really call it a rivalry. And I had it was like 3 minutes. I had a one-on-one with Joe Paterno. He was a little bit he was a little bit cautious. He's like, you Ohio State guys, but so there's nothing like it. And then the 3 player reps, you can go around. I remember talking like Melvin Gordon, for some reason, stands out from Wisconsin. It's just so cool. There's nothing like it. So Yeah, your focus. So for me, I've been doing this I've been going to Big Ten Media Days for probably like 20 years now because I'm old. Your focus is on Ohio State doing what I do, of course. That's your main, but like, it's really cool going around and talk to everybody else. Now, so it used to be 7 teams on one day, 7 teams on the second day. It used to just be a 2-day thing. Now it's 3 days. So they're going 6, 6, 6. And Ohio State, again, everything's on Tuesday. So, yeah, so I'll be showing up Wednesday. Am I going to listen to every coach? Probably not. I don't think that's feasible, but it's so cool, man. So you have the one they show on Big Ten Network, the official podium, that's cool. And people are asking questions. The coach gives an opening statement. The best thing, Scotty, is the breakout rooms. Because then you can get either just maybe 5 or so guys interviewing a guy, and maybe you can get lucky and say, hey, Coach Paterno, can I pull you aside for a one-on-one, And his social media guy or his SID, I remember giving me the side eye, but he did it. But there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it where every Big Ten team is represented with their coach and 3 players. It's so cool.
It's funny when you say breakout rooms, I usually cringe because I hate like when I'm on a Zoom and I have to do a breakout room and kind of talk things over with just a few people and then go back to the big room. I usually cringe. So hearing that breakout rooms is one of your favorite things, I do love. Now, just a reminder. So Big Ten Media Days, July 23rd through the 25th, and it's going to be at Lucas Oil Stadium. And as you said, first time you're going to have all 18 schools represented there. I want to ask you though, like, what's out of all the years that you've been doing this, what's like the biggest news story? You said 20 years. What's the biggest thing that's ever broken from Media Days?
Definitely 2018 with Urban Meyer. Definitely. And it was a slow burn because I remember like Brett McMurphy, as Buckeye fans will remember, was asking him the question. This was like Urban first took this podium. This is his first time meeting with the media. This was not breakout. And Brett McMurphy was asking him all the questions about Zach Smith and everything else. And now we know from the text messages from Gene Smith to Urban, Gene said, listen, just don't say anything. Urban decided to say, I know nothing about that. And then, was kind of making fun of even the question. So that led to like a lot of reporters in the breakout room grilling Urban about that. And it got worse and worse. And then that ended up being Brett McMurphy's like life. And listen, if you're a reporter and you feel like you have a story and you feel like somebody lied to your face, you're not going to take that well. Now, we didn't like it because we like Ohio State, but that's, definitely 2018. And basically he had to say that Zach Smith is gone and we're promoting Brian Hartline. It was very, very, very strange. Very strange. And then Ryan Day, this wasn't at Media Days, but Ryan Day ends up being you're thinking they're going to promote Greg Schiano as the interim head coach, right? Previous head coaching experience at Rutgers and in the NFL.
Yep.
And they promoted Ryan Day. I'm thinking, oh, that's our next guy, huh? Pretty obvious. But that was definitely the craziest, man. I mean, like, that was insane because it just ended up taking over the entire Big Ten Media Days. And Ohio State obviously was king of the hill then. There wasn't even a close second. People were debating, is it Michigan? Is it Penn State? Is it Wisconsin? Ohio State was king of the hill in 2018, so it was absolutely huge.
Well, and also one of the things that I've noticed with Media Days, not specifically to the Big Ten, but over the last couple years, conference expansion has always been something that kind of comes up now every single year. So now they're talking SEC and Big 12 and ACC, and all these guys have to answer questions about potential movement, especially with Florida State and Clemson suing their own conference, hoping to get out. So it's an interesting time, and I think Media Days is interesting for that as well.
Scotty, you know how I am. I spent hours crafting our show sheet, and we're going to talk British Open betting throughout the first segment. Or we're not. We're going to talk all about Ohio State football. But I promise you folks, up next, we're going to talk British Open betting right here. 97.1 The Fan, on the money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You would just ask these questions. Should I sell when my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope that the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you'd like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out on your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance and upkeep too. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. You can get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's best value without moving. Again, that's TrueHold.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee, arthritic pain like I was having in my knee, maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gehanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, let's talk British Open, the Open Championship betting. Again, it starts at 1:30 in the morning. Yes, I have already asked Alexa, set alarm for 1:30 in the morning because I am getting up and I'm watching.
You're not going to even wait till like 2.
Nope.
In case it tees off like maybe more like 1:40. You think they're actually going to tee off at 1:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's the deal.
Okay.
So a lot of times when you're trying to figure out your Open Championship betting card, one of the things that you have to focus on is the weather because it can be a humongous factor. It was several years ago when Henrik Stenson won at Royal Troon, where it's just based on when your wave is, when you're teeing off on Thursday and Friday can matter because you can have such a better weather period than the other guys that are teeing off either later in the day or earlier in the day. Now, I will tell you, in advance, looking at the weather forecasts, and you got to look at the wind, you got to look at the rain, all that stuff. The most important thing in golf that really throws people off is the wind. That's what really can change scores around. But it does look like overall there's not a huge advantage if you are teeing off morning or later tomorrow. So again, weather patterns can change quickly in Scotland, but you can kind of, when you're putting together your betting card, you can kind of ignore the fact of whether they start early or start late. Now, let's go with the updated odds. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler is the favorite going in, and we know why, because the guy wins all the time. Second on the board is Rory McIlroy at plus 850. Then you've got Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Ludwig Oberg.
Morikawa 13-1, is that right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Okay, so here's where I am starting my card at.
Okay.
Dave, Morikawa. That's the first guy who I've got to bet in on, and I just don't like the value enough on Scheffler, and I know it's probably stupid because he wins a lot, but 5-1 is just not enough for me to
So you
bet
don't
him.
like this?
So I'm staying away. Let me see what you got here.
You don't like that?
Scotty at plus. Look, I mean, there's a good chance Scotty wins.
Our friends at ESPN Bet gave me a $25 bonus bet.
Well,
and
then
I went,
use it.
I almost went with Morikawa at 13-1. That would have been a huge payout. But it's 25. It's free money. I'm like, okay, I'll take Scheffler at 5-1 with a $25 free bet.
Couple other guys that are on my board that, again, I'm looking a little bit further down because in the British Open, too, you can see some more of these long shot winners. Remember the winner last year, Brian Harmon? Again, that's a long shot winner right there. British Open, you see more of these long shot guys come through than you do at the other major championships. Weather, a big part of it. Some of it is luck based on when you're teeing the ball off. There's a chance your ball might roll into one of those pot bunkers. A lot of it is luck involved with links golf and the weather, obviously. So
is this considered one of the tougher, links courses as well?
Again,
the weather.
It's tough if the weather is bad,
Gotcha,
right?
yeah.
So they expect kind of the winning score to be in the 15 to 20 under range, which means it's not going to be extremely difficult. But again,
you
that
just
can
never
change.
know.
Yeah,
Right.
which is what you love. Now, a couple other guys who I have circled. Terrell Hatton. He is 24-1 right now. I like his value. He has been playing very, very well on the LIV Tour. He won 2 tournaments ago and finished 1 stroke back at the tournament last week. So he's playing well. He used to play on the European Tour. So I like Hatton. I think there's value on him. Another one that I like is I think the value on Tony Finau. 50-1. He's playing well. He's a bomber. He hits it far. He's been playing, and he has been right in the ball game, and he plays well in the British Open in the past. So those are the guys who I have my eye on for the British Open so far.
Very interesting. I might throw a smaller bet. I got my big bet on Scheffler. I might throw a smaller bet on Morikawa, and a guy that you liked initially, and then because he's been struggling on the LIV Tour, you've backed off. Jon Rahm at 25-1 is interesting. Listen, I'm not going to bet a lot on it. If I throw $4 on there and he wins, I get $100. Oh, worst case scenario, I'm out $4. I think I'm going to lay about $4 on Jon Rahm.
Yeah, the thing about Rahm, the talent is as good as anyone. He's as talented as Scotty Scheffler, right? But he is not playing well. He has not played well in the majors. He has not won a LIV tournament yet. He's been in the ball game at these LIV tournaments. He's finished top 10 in every tournament he's been in.
He's due.
In LIV. But he has been bad in majors this year, which kind of makes that 25-1 appealing because of the talent. So I totally get you. At the $4, I think absolutely makes sense. Throw a little bit on Rahm. I almost threw a big amount on Rahm, and then I watched him last week, and he just didn't look good in the LIV tournament, so I kind of had to stay away.
I know you're not into NASCAR, and I wasn't for years. It's not still my favorite sport, but pretty much every week I'll throw 3 lines in the water. I'll pick, and you can bet on guys finishing in the top 10 or top 5, but usually I'll pick 3 different guys to finish as the winner, right? And it's just like golf, where the odds are astronomical.
Yeah.
Like I picked Brian Blaney last week. He's the defending champ. He was getting 12-1 odds. I threw $5 on him. Okay, so that worked out well. So I'm doing the same thing in golf. I like putting about 3 lines in the water. So I'm going Scheffler on one of my apps, ESPN Bet, and then I'm going to go smaller, but I'm going to go Morikawa and Rahm. Those are my 3 lines in the water. And
Yep.
I'm sure I'll be live betting and being an idiot. But right now, going into the tournament, I'll tell myself just stick with that. Guaranteed, Scotty, I'll be making some live bets and then regretting them very soon.
I got a feeling Finau's going to be in this thing. Whether Finau can actually get it done, I don't know. He doesn't usually close the door very well in big tournaments, but I got a feeling Finau is going to be right in this thing on Sunday. And guess what? I'm looking forward to our Sunday show because we're going to be watching the British Open, live betting the British Open, and doing our Sunday on the money. All right, when we come back, we're going to do a little of this and a little bit of that. This is On the Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Manny Chopra, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value and have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, and are bound by by the highest ethical standards. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, please visit oda.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Along with the Ohio chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture, while you're outside, this is a great time to be on the lookout for invasive plant species like honeysuckle, poison hemlock, and even wild parsnip, which can cause severe skin blistering, so be careful. Invasive species can wreak all sorts of havoc, like altering the native food web, making it harder on native wildlife, altering soil chemistry, even creating a better environment for things like ticks and mosquitoes. To learn more or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
All right, you guys getting with the Columbus Crew being up 1-0 right now on Charlotte and Cucho scoring a goal? Because I'm getting with that.
I certainly am.
Love it. Keep it rolling. DeVere, I had a chance to co-host the Buckeye Show with DeVere Posey. He's there right now. His first ever Columbus Crew game. Not just at the Death Star, but period. Love it. And right about now, Cam, it's time for this or that. Hit it. All right, my friends. So my wife's a teacher. She's off for the summer, and she's a busybody. So when she's off for the summer, that just means she's doing a lot of stuff that I really don't want to do, like yard work and remaking our backyard and all good things in the long term. I'm like, if I was a teacher, I'd just chill out all summer. That's not her.
I'd be golfing all
she's
summer.
been, yeah, exactly.
I am anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So she's had me go out and get mulch and stuff like that. I had to go out and get more today, and it was raining, so I had to fill up my car with mulch. You know, obviously it's in the bag, Scotty. It's not like just throwing mulch in the back of my car. But my car stinks like crazy now. It stinks like crazy. But mulch looks really good. The black mulch, love the black mulch. Are you guys getting with mulch, or are you not getting with mulch? Because it does smell nasty.
Absolutely getting with it. I just love how it immediately makes your house look so much better when you got fresh mulch. I mean, like it's like painting, you know, where you see the instant satisfaction of seeing, you know, the paint on like if you're changing the color of a wall and you immediately see it and you're like, oh, I really like that. That's kind of how I feel when we throw down new mulch too. Like it just is the instant satisfaction of, oh my gosh, it looks so much better in this area when you do new mulch.
I'm getting with it too, Cam Taylor, but I'm not getting with my car smelling like bleep. But overall, I'm getting with it because of what Scotty said. It just looks fantastic.
I don't own property yet. I do own a condo, but I don't really have to worry about, like, I have how mulch makes it look better. I just think about the smell, so I'm not getting with mulch.
Good.
Now, speaking of bad smells, so I was
smooth transition.
Yeah. I was mowing today, and obviously the skies opened up for about an hour where it was just a crazy downpour. Well, and my mower ran out of gas, and this is almost, I hate this when this happens, and I had no more gas left, so it was like, okay, and I got lucky because the wife was going to run some errands and taking the kids, and so she's like, "Oh, I'll fill up the gas." Not a fun thing to do because then your entire car smells like gas. Aline, when you have to do that.
I spilled a gas can one time after I filled it up in my previous car, and that smell never goes away.
Terrible.
Yeah, so now I hold it.
So
in the front seat with me.
Yeah. So when my kids and wife got back with the couple of gas cans that they filled for me, they immediately were complaining about the smell and me making them do it, even though it was very nice for them to go fill it up. I know that's the worst feeling is when your car stinks of mulch or gas or something like that. All right, let's go. I have some odds for next year. Obviously, Bill Belichick is not going to be on an NFL sideline this year, right? And it's wild to see him and Nick Saban now in the media. But Bill Belichick has talked about wanting to get back as a head coach in 2025. So I'm asking you this. There are odds out there on which team Bill Belichick will be the head coach of in 2025. Ooh. And the favorite is guess?
Cincinnati? No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Las Vegas Raiders.
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas is even money to be where Bill Belichick is coaching
that
next
makes a
year.
lot of. They should have hired him this year. What are you doing holding on to Mike McCarthy? All those underachieving seasons have you aroused, Jerry? Like, what are you doing?
So
How
the
about hire the
odds
GOAT?
are Bill Belichick to be an NFL coach next year, minus 200 is yes. Plus 150 is no. And then Cowboys, obviously, the favorite. Are you getting with that Bill Belichick will be the Dallas Cowboys head coach next year?
I am getting with it. And it reminds me a lot of his mentor, Bill Parcells. It goes against the grain for Jerry, but what Jerry, once he gets desperate, and I know it didn't end well with Parcells and Jerry, but Jerry, that one time has proven that he will go with a guy who has a strong personality, who's not just going to be a yes man. The vast majority of coaches he's hired have been yes men. I am getting with Bill Belichick will be the next coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
And Dave, I am not high on the prospects for the Cowboys this year. And if the Cowboys have another underachieving year, then I think absolutely there's a great shot that Bill Belichick will be the coach. And I would take the even money that he will be the head coach. Cam, will Bill Belichick be the Cowboys head coach in 2025?
I say no. I think he might come back to coaching, but like Dave was bringing up, Jerry Jones, I don't know if those two could really work well together and get what Jerry's trying to do probably on the field.
Cam, you're looking good in there with that Ohio State pullover. That is sweet. I like that. I mean, we're looking good with our fan shirts. But let me ask you this question. You guys getting with doing one segment of this or that, or are you getting with doing two segments?
We got to do two. We got to go again. I got another really good this or that, so we got to go and do it again.
Even more this or that. It's coming up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Common Man and T-Bone here. Visit Hollywood Casino Columbus this summer for exciting live sports action. We got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Ohio.
Plus, Penn Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win.
Not a member? Get the Penn Play app today.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is your live sports headquarters.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's something about country music that's just so easy. Like a Bud Light. Simple stories, soulful melodies, and lyrics that refer to drinking a Bud Light in the sun. So keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers, where exceptional gifts await.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, you can save big on select varieties of Kroger brand milk. Half gallons are only $1.39 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Okay, so that's the final price. Oh, an extra fee to drive here, is that it? A knock on the door fee, so is that the final price? A 15% Wednesday surcharge, what for? Oh, because it's Wednesday. Of course. Can I get back to you on this?
Apex Pros, the pros who knows.
This quote you gave me, are there any other charges I don't know about?
Other charges?
Like an it's too sunny fee or my dog wet the carpet tax.
No, Apex always gives you upfront pricing.
No surprise fees?
Never.
No charge if your stomach hurts or you lost your library card?
Upfront pricing every time at Apex Pros, whether it's plumbing, heating, and AC, or our new electrical services.
I'll call you right back. Hello, other company? Hi, me again.
It's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear. You'll never get a surprise charge with the Apex Pros upfront price guarantee. Schedule an appointment now at apexpros.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money, the show where we try to make you a better sports gambler, help you win some money. But right now we're going to continue one of our favorite segments, which is This or That. There was some news out yesterday that Brandon Ayuk officially requested to be traded by the San Francisco 49ers. And guys, there are betting odds out on where the heck he's going to go next year, his next team. And the odds-on favorite is the Pittsburgh Steelers at 4-1. So will Ayuk go to the Steelers? The other odds have him looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars, possibly being traded there at 6-1. Colts are 7-1. Commanders are 8-1.
It's too bad for the Steelers that Ayuk doesn't play for the Chicago Bears, or Ryan Poles would probably trade him for like a future 7th round conditional pick or something. Idiot.
So my question, my this or that is, would it be a big deal for Steelers fans if Brandon Ayuk joins the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is this a huge deal or not a huge deal?
I'm going with it's a huge deal. I mean, you know, this is a team, they got a really good receiver in Pickens. I know they have issues at quarterback, but like you got to think, I hope I'm wrong, but you got to think one of the two is going to have a good year, do at least what they need. They don't need anything spectacular at quarterback. This is not a direct parallel. It reminds me a little bit of Ohio State. Like Will Howard doesn't need to be elite for Ohio State to be elite, but he needs to be good. If the Steelers can get good quarterback play out of Russell Wilson, which he has not shown in at least 3 years, or good quarterback play out of Justin Fields, who they got for free basically from the Bears, they're going to be a problem. And if they get Ayuk in there, and then you can't key on Pickens, who was a really good second-round pick by them a few years ago, they're going to be a problem because their offensive line's now been boosted, which has been an issue for them, and their defense. We know their defense is going to come to play.
Now, let's be honest. I still think the chances that the 49ers actually go through and trade him is pretty low. I would actually be kind of surprised if that ever ends up happening. But, of course, the Steelers are the odds-on favorite if the trade does occur to land him. But I believe that it will be a huge deal. I agree, Dave. He's only 26 years old, had an unbelievable year. I think that would be an enormous thing for Pittsburgh to land him.
And real quick before we get Cam's thoughts on that, I mean, especially when you're in a win-now mode times, 100 with this 49ers? Not that necessarily your windows are going to close after this year. You got a quarterback on a cheap contract who you like who's entering just his third year. I get that. But this is a win-now team. Yeah, it's going to take a lot for them to trade Ayuk. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a big deal, and like you guys are saying, I think it'd be a big deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, how they've just been kind of stagnant and just dead the last kind of 2 seasons with with their previous quarterback, Kenny Pickett, and so that will just help everybody, I think, have a better season.
All right, I did a story on Bucknuts this morning about this. So ESPN Plus did a really interesting story looking at the Big Ten. It was in-depth. ESPN Plus, Bill Connolly did it. Not Bill Connolly, our Bill Connolly. Bill Connolly, a writer for ESPN Plus. And included in that story was odds to win the Big Ten championship, according to really percentages to win the Big Ten championship, according to their analytics. This wasn't opinions.
Ooh. Can I guess?
Yes. So what's Ohio State's chance of winning the Big Ten according to ESPN's analytics?
I'm going to guess at about 60%.
Cut that in half.
Whoa, 30?
I mean, 31. I was shocked by this. So here it is. So they gave Ohio State a 31% chance of winning the Big Ten.
Wow.
That's first in the Big Ten. Oregon, 26%. Not far behind, okay? Then you got Penn State at 17.5 or 17.9%.
Okay.
They're third. And then Michigan is 17%. Then there's a huge drop to fifth. So Michigan at 17%. Again, Ohio State 31%. This is ESPN's analytics, odds to win the Big Ten championship. Then you had a big drop off from Michigan at fourth, 17%, to Iowa, fifth at 2%. Iowa, fifth at 2%. Then it's USC at 1.8%. Then it's Wisconsin at 1.2%. Scotty, the 11 other teams in the conference, less than 1% chance. But I thought that was low for Ohio State. I was really, really, really surprised. And, people on our website were saying the same thing, like 31%. If you look at the odds, even now that they've dropped to 350 for Ohio State to win. No, that's to win the national championship. If you look at the odds, it's more like 40%. If you do the math, it's like 40% Ohio State. If you just base it on the odds out there at Hollywood Casino Sportsbook and ESPN Bet, it's about 40%. So I was very surprised to see Ohio State just at 31%. Michigan at 17%. Come on. No way.
I'm kind of surprised by that. I would have thought, I guess 60, but that now thinking about it, if you're at 60%, you're actually looking at more of like a minus, a minus 130, minus 140 type number rather than the plus 150 or plus 140 that Ohio State is to win the championship. I'm surprised by that. I think that the percentage that surprises me the most that you said is probably Michigan's at 17%. Penn State, if you look at their schedule, relatively easy other than Ohio State. But yeah, I'm surprised by that. I am surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
Me too.
That seems low. What do you think, Cam? 31% for the Buckeyes to win the Big Ten.
Yeah, it does seem pretty low. And like you guys are saying, I don't believe in James Franklin or any James Franklin team. So that number you threw out for Penn State seemed high to me too.
All right, up next, we're going to circle back to some British Open betting. Scotty's going to make you some money next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for TrueHold. If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You would just ask these questions. Should I sell when my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope that the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you'd like. When you sell your home to TrueHold for its best current value, you can fully cash out on your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance and upkeep, too. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. You can get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's best value without moving. Again, that's truehold.com.
My name is Dr. Ray Tessner. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Columbus, Ohio. I've been involved with taking care of athletes and aging athletes for over 35 years.
Dr. Ray Tessner knows a thing or two about joint pain, and one thing he's a big believer in right now is regenerative medicine.
The advantage that I see in a regenerative medicine that there's really no downside to it.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting way to deal with joint pain, using natural, concentrated healing agents from your own body to go to work on achy joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue.
It's one of the best management tools that's come around in a long time.
Tired of that pain in your knees, hips, back, and shoulder? Before you go under the knife, get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. You really can get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to the show. Appreciate you guys riding with us tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more Ohio State football, Big Ten Media Days in just a moment, but I wanted to get back to British Open betting, specifically for the people who are just now tuning into the show, because Scotty, as you guys know, is fantastic at golf betting. Like, next level. What do I mean by that? Multiple times he's been kicked off of apps because he's too damn good at golf betting. And that's my goal in life, is to be so good at betting on a sport. Like, you know, for example, if they said you can't bet on tennis anymore, I'd be like, heck yeah, because you better make you've made a lot of money once they cut you off. So now if you lose a lot of money, they ain't gonna cut you off. But if you win a lot of money, they'll cut you off. Scotty, make the people some money for this British Open.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Yes, there were multiple sites. I would actually like to be kicked off another one relatively soon here because, you know, that means I'm doing well. But here's the deal for me with the British Open. So obviously it starts 1:30 in the morning. So get your bets in tonight, right? I mean, if you're trying to do pre-tournament bets, which there's a lot of different options out there, to make the cut, to miss the cut, top tens, outright winners, all that stuff, you got to get it in before 1:30 here. And so I've got a betting card where I did one parlay where it's just a fun one to make the cut. Because to me, I think it's one of the most fun bets that you can make because it pays out on Friday afternoon. And if all your guys make the cut, you can get a nice little payout. Or you could do one to miss the cut. There are guys that aren't playing well that maybe you throw in Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka and one other guy, and you do a don't make the cut bet and you root against these guys. That's fun too. Now, my advice with the Open Championship is very much keep an eye on the weather, right? So I think live betting a golf tournament is especially makes a lot of sense with this Open Championship because you got to keep an eye on who has got the advantage as far as the wind and the weather and what tee times. So keep an eye on that. But my initial betting card, I like the value on Tony Finau. I got him at 50-1. Some books, including ESPN Bet, have him now at 40-1. Still think there's value there. I like the 50-1, obviously, a lot better. But the other two guys who I've got already locked in and ready to go, I got Colin Morikawa, and I also like Tyrrell Hatton. Hatton's a guy who's been playing well on the LIV Tour. So those are the three guys that I'm looking at to start things out. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk OSU and Big Ten Media Days coming up. You're going to be heading to Indy. You say it's one of your favorite events to cover. I'm jealous. It sounds like a great time.
My favorite. Well, unless Ohio State's like in like the national championship game. But yeah, it's my favorite event to cover every year.
That's
really
wild.
Is. Yeah.
You like it better than going to a Big Ten championship football game and covering that, or going on a road game? You love it that much?
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's nothing else like it. I mean, you're getting all 18 head coaches. I mean, in previous years, we're getting 14, or back in the day, 12. Before that, 11, before Nebraska joined. And there's nothing like it. You get 3 standout players from each of the Big Ten schools that you can go up and do one-on-ones with. All of the coaches there, there's just nothing like it. And I will put like a national championship game or maybe like a Rose Bowl over that. Certainly any type of college football playoff game, but just a regular bowl game or a regular road game, it doesn't compare to Big Ten Media Days. It's just very, very cool.
Okay, let's say you got the first question for Ryan Day.
I never do that, though.
Let's say you got question number 1. What would you have lined up that you want him to answer?
I want to know about the offensive line. I know that's kind of boring, right? That's where I'm at, though. I'm curious his thoughts on the offensive line. How confident are you? Because you don't have many question marks on offense. He's not going to get into quarterback, okay? You can be like, is Will Howard the leader going into camp? By the way, yes, he is. Is Ryan Day going to say that? No, he is not, okay? He didn't say it leaving spring. He's not going to say. He's not going to tip his hand. Offensive line, because I get asked this a lot, Scotty, is the Ohio State's offensive line going to be national championship caliber? I don't know, and if they're good, again, they don't need to be elite, but if they're good, this Ohio State team is going to be really, really, really tough to beat, and I think they will be. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think they're going to be better than what they were last year, Scotty, and they're a veteran line. They got 3 third-year starters and 2 second-year starters, presuming Carson Hinsman is a starting right guard. He'll get pushed by Tegra Shabola and Luke Montgomery, but I'll probably be asking about the offensive line. A follow-up would be something just the Chip Kelly impact. I'd have to craft the question a little better than talk about the Chip Kelly impact. The laziest question you can ask in sports journalism. Talk about. But seriously, and we know now that Chip Kelly's going to coach from the field, for those that are wondering. I like my coordinators up in the box, but I trust Chip Kelly that he knows what he's doing here. I get it. But those are a few of the things. Like offensive line, the Chip Kelly impact. Maybe will linebacker. Is it going to be Sonny Styles? Is it going to be C.J. Hicks? Are they going to rotate? Those are probably the 3 I would get to.
And updating the Ohio State national championship odds. Ohio State plus 350 to win it all. Georgia plus 325. Your Big Ten championship odds. Ohio State plus 150. Oregon plus 225. And the over-under season win total is 10.5 games.
Yeah, and again, back to those ESPN, and they're just going by, this is not an opinion, they're going by the analytics. They're saying Ohio State only has a 31% chance. Even if you said 33, which isn't much, only a 1 in 3 chance for this Ohio State team to win the Big Ten. And I get it. They could go 12-0, losing the Big Ten championship game, and they're not Big Ten champs. They could beat Oregon at Oregon. Oregon could beat them in a close game in Indy in the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State's sitting there 12-1. They're not Big Ten champs. I get it. But like 1 in 3 chance, come on. It feels like more like 50-50 at best. Up next, we're going to do some best bets, and we're going to do some more British Open betting. That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Manny Chopra, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value and have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, and are bound by the highest ethical standards. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, please visit oda.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Ohio's public schools are safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive, no exceptions. Thanks to the nearly 120,000 public school educators in the Ohio Education Association. We are dedicated professionals who deserve respect, a living wage, and a seat at the table when decisions are made. And we're using our united voice to demand the supports and resources our students need to succeed. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. Final segment of the show. We're going to try and make you a little bit of money here with Best Bets. Now, are you looking forward to the men's basketball team?
Biddle and Scotty Vegas both think they're right. Chances are they're both wrong. On the Money presents Best Bets.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. If you need a driveway, garage, patio, even an in-ground pool, Maxima Concrete are the guys to call. Schedule a free estimate today at MaximaConcrete.com.
Cam just wanted me to drink. Cam, all I have is water right now. Give me like 10 minutes. We'll see. But like right now, all I got's water. So that's all I can do for you.
All right, let's get that best bet in, though. If you had one bet for the British Open, you said you have already got it in on Scotty Scheffler.
I got a $25 free bet, so I just put it on Scheffler.
Why not?
I almost went Morikawa 13-1, because that would have been a nice payday.
And Dave, it would be shocking if Scotty's not like in this thing on Sunday. Whether he wins, he hasn't had a great record at the British Open before. Didn't play fantastic at the U.S. Open.
That's for sure.
So there's a couple things that kind of point to the fact that maybe he won't win this one. But the safest is to do what you did, which was put the money down on Scotty. For me, I'm looking more like value-wise. You and I both like Morikawa coming into this tournament. For some reason, Dave, got this feeling that Tony Finau is going to have a really, really good tournament this week. He's played well over the last couple months. There's always some guy that kind of is in that range. He's at 50-1. I like it. I like Finau. And then the third name that I've got is Hatton. Hatton's a guy I always like to take guys going into the majors playing really, really well. And Hatton last week finished one shot back of the playoff at the LIV tournament. And also right before that, won the LIV tournament. So I like Hatton, Morikawa, Finau. I could be talked into Rahm at his number as well.
Yeah, getting 25-1 on Rahm is nice. It's good value. Again, I'm going to throw four. I already did. I threw $4 on Rahm. Okay. I'm either out $4 or I win 100. I kind of like that. Finau's interesting to me. Every time I watch him, it's like he seems like, not every tournament, obviously. He seems like he's in it. Sometimes it looks like, he might win. There's always like one or two or three holes where he just doesn't come through. Has he ever come close to winning a major?
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been...
has he been a runner-up ever?
Yes, he's been very close.
Wow.
In fact, he's been close at Augusta. He's been close at the Open Championship. Yeah, he's been in final groups. He just hasn't quite pulled it out yet. I think there's value, though, on Finau at 50. Now, at 40, I'm not quite as high on because his odds have actually started to move a little bit. But I got him at 50, and I like that value. I just expect him to have a shot on Sunday. And when you're throwing money down on a guy who's 50-1, having a shot on Sunday is all you can ask for.
As you said, I mean, the odds in golf betting are just awesome.
Yes.
Where else are you going to, NASCAR to an extent, but golf, and you know it so well. Yeah, and you got to feel like Finau's due, right? I mean, he's too good to never win a major. I mean, it doesn't mean he's going to for sure. Ask Ricky Fowler. Everybody said he was going to win a major for sure. He's never going to win a major. So is Finau the best that's never won a major, in your opinion?
He's right there probably with Patrick Cantlay.
Okay.
Cantlay was close at the U.S. Open, but didn't get it done. Yeah, I would say Finau is right in that conversation. By the way, he tees off at 4:25 this morning. So maybe I'll set that Alexa to wake me up at like 4:21
There you go.
instead of at 1:30.
You're always ready to go at 4:20. I know how that works. AM or PM. Did you see what Tiger Woods said when Colin Montgomery said Tiger should just like retire? Oh my gosh. Tiger just roasted Colin Montgomery. Well, as a former champion, I get an exempt till I'm 60. Colin's not a former champion, so he's not exempt. Yeah, you know what I mean. Just a nice roast by Tiger Woods on Colin Montgomery.
It's amazing.
All right, that is our show for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it very much. For Scotty Vegas and Cam Taylor, I am Dave Biddle. This has been On the Money.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry.
Remember when we first met?
I was just starting Eco Plumbers and looking for a silent partner.
And I had just invented sneakers with lights in them and was looking for somewhere to invest my fortune.
I didn't even think inventor was an actual job.
I didn't think plumbers started companies.
Get Eco.
As I recall, you thought the name Eco was a pretty good idea.
As a full-time inventor, Aaron, it's just that kind of creative thinking that caught my attention. Simple, memorable, singable.
Get Eco.
And it reminds homeowners that modern plumbing can make economical sense and ecological sense at the same time. Waste less water and save money on your utility bills.
Get Eco.
Instead of just sitting here raking in royalties after inventing that little plastic hanger that socks come on, I might as well be a silent partner in a company that's doing good.
You're not all that silent as silent partners go.
But I am charming, Aaron.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you're listening to this and you're not already keeping it easy in your backyard with a Bud Light, well, consider this message a gentle reminder. Your backyard is waiting, and so is that Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Check out the all-new John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram facility in Heath and experience the difference. We're your exclusive AgPack dealer, offering up to $30,000 in savings and benefits. And if you're tired of waiting at the dealership for service, take advantage of our service made simple with Carvenience or mobile service. Home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee and one of the largest selections in Central Ohio. John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererCDJR.com. We love what moves you.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers.